go. Yeah.
Huh? What? What's up, Simon?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, it's actually turned out to be a very sunny day in my neighborhood, which is still kind of a rarity around here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how's the East Coast doing?
It was raining all day, and kind of chilly and crappy, but we make it through. No big whoop. No big whoop.
Sounds like the sediment of the country a little bit. It's kind of rainy and crappy, but we'll make it through.
Right, right. I lost I'm looking for my I don't know where my Twitter spaces went.
Uh-oh.
For some reason. Oh, I see it. There it is.
Maybe, yeah.
I put it over there.
Uh-oh.
I got you now. I got you
Cool,
now.
cool.
So hopefully we get some folks to come in and join us. But I thought we'd kind of circle back to what we were talking about last week,
Right.
with the basics, the crypto basics, the lingo, the on and off ramps. I think would be a good addition, and then kind of talk a little bit more about the wallets that are out there that people can get into, and so I've got a couple little things that I wanted to touch on. What about you? What are you thinking?
Well, I think wallets are good. Actually, I was putting some materials together for my website that's under construction, and I was looking for kind of current material from other content creators. Because it's really, I think all of us would agree that are seasoned individuals in this crypto space, that really getting a lot of different people's general perspective really helps to bring everything in. It really does. It really, really does. It's like having 5 different math teachers, but their styles are just a little bit different. But man, do they really bring the whole 2 + 2 is 4 to the table, and it's just gospel after that. So anyways, I think wallets is a good place to start. As I was reminded today that the term wallet is kind of a misleading term. When I say wallet, when you say wallet, I honestly think about my leather wallet with all my property or bank cards that are owned by the bank. My little bit of cash in there. It's leather, has a chain on it. Make sure no one steals my wallet. But
you're one of those guys with the chain.
Well, you know what? Yeah.
I'm a carry my purse across my chest gal.
Myself. Oh, really? Okay. My wife's got something similar. It's actually, you would call it a fanny pack, but man, it's actually really trendy.
Yeah. Like, does it go like here and it goes?
No, it goes across your belt, but it like hangs off kind of like a little saddlebag, like off a Harley, with little tassels and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's actually.
I've seen men wearing those.
Oh yeah, I've seen the men's wearing this. Like, I have some connections. They wear that. They just like to do it right here. Belt. It's like, it's like, you want some? You can't get this. You want some?
Oh, we got our girl Rusty up in here.
Hey, girlfriend.
Yay! How are you?
So the wallet terminology that I was just going to touch on. It's actually in crypto land. It's more of it's your access. It's your actual key to that network or that crypto or that blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, girlfriend? Go ahead, speak your mind.
See, I invited her to be a speaker. She could be with the kids and could just be listening in.
Earmuffs.
I'm not sure. But we'll keep an eye on it. If she's able to join as a speaker, we'd love to have her. So I agree. I don't know if I'm hearing a little feedback from if it's
You
from my.
probably are. I have two of my space devices like over here in the
Oh, okay.
corner. If you give me
Okay.
a minute, I can literally stash them. I can still
Sure.
hear you, so just go ahead. I'm just going to
All right.
remove
I'm
these.
going to keep talking
I'm going to
then.
go for it. I'm going to mute my mic. I'll be right back.
Mute your mic. Yeah, so back to what Simon was saying earlier, as far as not there's no need to reinvent the wheel with all of this stuff. And there are so many people that have taken their time, their valuable time and effort to learn about this crypto space. And everyone wants to try and share what they've learned with each other. And it's much like last week when we had the Count of Monte Cripto, and then we had my friend Rosemary, and we had Kathleen in here, and they were sharing their knowledge with everyone, and the lists and things that they came up with. And so you know, a lot of the information that you hear is going to be recycled, right? So to speak. And what I've found in the crypto space, I've been in a couple years now. Um, you tend to once you start listening to different folks and studying things up for yourself, you can weed out the good with the bad, and then you end up hearing what a consensus on a particular item is. And so yeah, a lot of the things that we're going to talk about are things that are covered by a lot of other people, and that's wonderful, because these are important things. And if anyone out there is thinking they want to dip a little toe into this space, little tiny little pinky toe in
Yeah,
it.
little toe in
There
the water.
there are some things, and I was listening to I think his name's Guy, and actually he's got a YouTube channel, and he's one of the fellows I came across of early on in my crypto journey. And he had a little crypto basics, and so I wanted, before we really start diving into stuff, I kind of wanted to just go over a couple of things. If you are thinking about joining the crypto space and figuring out how can I begin my journey, there are some things that you need to know. And number one, as I'm sure if you've already started looking into this a little bit, crypto sometimes can be like the wild, wild west a little bit, right? There's a lot of swindlers out there. There's scammers and hackers, and there's FOMO artists that, are trying to push you to buy this coin or that coin or whatever. And so, like we said last week, slow your roll, get yourself acclimated to the situation, and realize that you're getting into this space and for a reason, right? You're interested in it, but it comes with great responsibility. Okay, so this is you taking your power back to hold crypto is a powerful thing. If you're learning about it, and then I'll go on with what else. But do you have anything to add to that? I'm sure you do. So
as always, as my wife says, my mouth is always open. So to the responsibility part, it's a great responsibility, and most of us in this world have never been at that level. Okay, and the level that I'm giving reference to is, it is still early, to a degree, to be an investor in this space. I say early because the big money institutions are not officially going full public, meaning they don't have all these assets to offer to you via your 401k, pension, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? They're not there yet. They're close. They are trying to get a seat at the table right now. They have been through a process of accumulation for a number of years. Why my words and the other people in the crypto space, they poo-pooed it to a degree, right? They said it was bad. Don't do this, blah, blah,
They don't
blah.
want you to, they don't want you to start looking into it until they're ready for you to start looking into
Well,
it.
right. Exactly. So when you're at this table, okay, with the big dogs, but you were there first, where they feel, well, where they have always gotten that chair before anybody else per se, right? And now here we are, we're in their chair, but it's like, whoa, time out, flag on the play, good sir. I respect you as a human being. But as the old saying goes, first come, first serve. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shuffle the feet, lose your seat.
Yeah.
But that comes with, like you said, a great level of responsibility. There are those that recognize how valuable this seat is. This is arguably a once, maybe twice in a lifetime opportunity to elevate your financial position, which really equals or adequates to options. The more options you have in this life, the more things you can do and accomplish for the betterment of your life, families, generational wealth, your neighbor, community. The list goes on. Sky is not the limit. You can go as far as you can want to go.
Well, you know, we're I am old enough to probably have benefited from the .com era, and all of the new technologies. And I remember back then I didn't have confidence in it at all. It was all very confusing, just the computer in general, the dial-up modem and saving your stuff on a floppy disk drive and your email and all these things. And I remember being a bit overwhelmed by all of it. And then you saw the news and stuff, and they'd be on the news saying, what is this email thing? And like it's a big joke and it's silly and it's never going to last. And we're never
like the cool kids in high school going, what's with your hair? Kind of vibe, right? Yeah.
If you just look at the patterns over time, any new technology, a new invention that ends up being the bee's knees was always poo-pooed in the beginning, just like this is. There was always controversies in the beginning, just like there is this. This is even worse for that sort of sentiment being thrown out there because it's money and because we're at a pivotal moment here where our entire financial system is being reworked. The whole world is participating. The whole world, not just the United States, not just China.
We're barely participating. Let's be real. Right. If you're talking at that level of table seat. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. No, you're absolutely right.
But there's so much stuff going on. It's quite fascinating. If you kind of give it a little bit of your time, and you start looking into it, and even making the comparisons between the industries, with like the cell phones and that sort of thing, and look at what the prices to those items went to and how much money could have been made and all this kind of stuff. So, not financial advice. This show is. We're not financial advisors. We're not telling you to buy any specific coin or token or anything like that. But we want you to feel empowered and inspired to go out there and do your own research, and realize that when you participate in this community, you have an army of people that are willing to help lift you up and educate you and help you along. You don't have to pay, there's a lot of influencers that have thousands of dollars and things like that. I mean, you might need to get on a call with someone like Simon, for example, to kind of hold your hand and help you through. But I mean, there are some people out there that are, they're the traders and all this stuff, and they're charging thousands of dollars. If you want to just get in the very beginning, just start baby steps, baby slow, type thing. The other thing I wanted to say is that, you have to realize when you're getting into this crypto currency space, this is not right at the time. This is not backed by FDIC insurance. Okay. This is not like your bank. where if you make a transaction, you can call it back with, the bank, you can put a dispute in, and there's going to be customer service on the other end. Not saying that we're not going to evolve to that point in the future, because they're setting it up to do that. But right now, the way it stands is that's not really something that you can do. And so, because you are considering becoming an early adopter of this new way of commerce, right? Currency, commerce, however you want to talk about it, it bears responsibility. And probably for the first time in your life, you're actually going to learn about what money is and how it works. We've never even given a thought about what happens on the back end of our banks, or why they put the limits on our bank cards that they put on our bank cards, or why when you go into the bank, you can't just walk in and walk out with $10,000 cash on a moment's notice, those types of things, because they control it and the money's not there. They're giving your money, they're taking your money from you, and they're loaning it out to others, because we're on a backed system. So,
well, the money's there.
Different. Well, what do you mean the money's there?
They just make more. You know how easy it is to insure something that's printable, that you can just make up out of thin air? It's great.
The problem,
anything.
I think, with everything that's happening, they don't have enough money to insure everybody in the event of a super duper bank failure. It's completely upside down. The money is.
But they've never had that. That's why it's FDIC insured up to this.
Yeah,
but if we all go in on it.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, when you put your money in the bank, and you didn't read your bank contract, okay?
Yeah.
If something was to end up happening with that bank, or there was like a bank bail-in or whatever, unless you know exactly what to do to ensure that you're going to be on the first list of people to get your money or be protected, and fill out the form that you're supposed to request and all this kind of stuff, you could be waiting, and you probably aren't going to get much of your money back. So I guess I'm trying to say is, when we're participating in the current banking system as it is, when you put that money in there, if they decide to turn your card off or say, sorry, Mr. Jones, we're not open right now, we can't help you, we'll call you back in 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever, and you're out on vacation with your friends or family or whatever, sorry, you're shit out of luck.
Yep.
And most people don't think about it like that, because maybe some people don't have some issues, but most people that I know have had a time or two where something bad has happened, where their card doesn't work, and they know that they have money in the account, and for whatever reason, they're not able to access it. And that's very frustrating. So, but and all that aside, I didn't mean to go off in that rabbit hole of what.
Let me ask you a question. Now, I want to jump in on that. Does that scare you?
Does what scare me?
Everything you just said, does that scare you?
No, it doesn't scare me. So here's the thing. Since I've come into crypto and started really paying attention to things, we got a request, and we want to welcome Lizzie. And she just requested to speak, and
she can't.
I just
she can't see me on the screen. Hi, sorry, we're doing multiple platforms here. Here I am waving in the camera, like, hey, how are you? And like, you can't even see me.
We're streaming on YouTube live as well. So, but no, it doesn't scare me. What it does is I've researched enough, and I understand now how things work. It concerns me, right? It lights a fire up under me to want to learn more how to protect my money, the money that I do have. And so in the event that, there is a bank failure, or a bank goes out of business, or your card keeps getting shut off, or whatever the reason, I wouldn't use. I feel like people that get into the cryptocurrency space, they really start educating themselves on these topics. And so they're not really scared, so let's see.
Good.
Did you want to speak, Rusty? I don't know if I was trying to invite her as a speaker, but
Well, there we go. Now I can kind of see everybody.
yeah.
If I start,
But why did you why were
oh well,
you
because people that say the things or talk about the things that you just spoke of, right? Banking
Hey, you need to
system.
remove that
Oh, good.
that person you just brought up. She's PORN spamming the Jumbotron.
Oh, thank you. Gotta figure out how to do it. Oh, great. Thanks, Lizzie. Huh? Block and remove you. That's always fun. I feel special. We got our first porn spammer.
Okay. She literally do some back end research. Anyways, back to why I asked, because people in the that get into the space, as you said, do the research, and initially they're scared, right? They're going to lose their money.
Yep.
And it's like we already have evidence of that happening. People that were close to retirement or in retirement during 2008, oopsie, the snafu of 2008, the crash per se, or the fall, or whatever you like to call it. There's a lot of people that did take a big hit, an unrecognized, uncalculated big hit. So they lost. They were in this state of fear, not having another place to go.
Yeah.
Now there's crypto, still speculative, but it's an option to go to. And I would say it is a place to invest as a hedge against life. Okay. An example of this, dude's on vacation that like you were talking about, car doesn't work. Okay, I have to do the thing I don't want to do because I was saving this crypto for, for my future, right? But I have to get back home. I know a few apps that I can use that I can use this cryptocurrency. Let's just say, XRP. You could take XRP and you find a way to swap it and then exchange it, and now you can get some a plane ticket home because you got to get back home or whatever. Okay, that is a possible thing. So this is great. You have another option, right? Versus, and my precious metals peoples, don't jump me on this one. It's just a cold hard fact. I literally don't carry gold or silver in my pocket enough to go, hi, United Airlines, can you please give me a first class seat to the so I can get my butt home because I gotta go. Now that's in this country. Other countries, you might be able to have a better luck doing that over there. I don't know. I know here, I'm pretty sure they don't take gold unless it's Visa Gold or MasterCard Gold or American Express Gold. You know what I mean? Those types of
or
things.
unless you got a farmer like Farmer John that'll be like, I'll take
the Farmer John will drive you in his truck. He'll pick you up. You drop the coins there. I'm sure Rusty would too. Rusty probably pull up too. Like, I got you. Silver, please. Thank you.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
But how inconvenient.
The Lord's money. I certainly would.
Amen. She said
Amen.
It's the Lord's money.
That's right.
It's the Lord's
That's right.
money. So
And
yeah,
historically, every fiat currency that has failed has always been replaced by gold, and the only true gold substitute is silver.
yep. I agree with you. We got another lister, Mr. Rico's in here listening. Welcome to the show, Mr. Rico. So Simon, kind of going off of this with the fact that it's not FDIC insured at the moment. Another little tip that I wanted to tell people about before they really dive. They get their little toe in there right now. One of the big rules is keep your mouth shut. Don't be bragging telling people how much cryptocurrency you have. Don't, especially if, say, you bought a coin or a token and you made a bunch of money from it, shut up. Don't say nothing. You don't want people to know that you're holding these assets, or you have large bags of this or that. I mean, there's several reasons for that. I mean, just for, you don't want to put a target on your back for that. And they say the same thing with people that come into wealth, lottery ticket winners, or people that get a bunch of money from, an inheritance or something, or whatever. They win a prize of some sort. So you just want to keep your mouth shut, in terms of, don't tell people how much stuff you have. There are people online all over that they are enticing people to say, how much, what size is your bag? Right. That's a term. That's another one of those terms. What kind of bag do you have? Okay. If you've been listening to a crypto influencer for a long time and you like them and they've given you good advice and all that stuff, if that person starts asking you to put in the comments how much of a bag you have, you need to rethink that person, because that is like a big no. You don't tell people how much you have. So do you have anything to add to that? Do you agree, disagree?
That's the standard procedure. You don't tell people how much silver you have, how much gold, how much cash you have. You just don't. There's a level there. Anybody asking, sure. You don't have to necessarily question that person. You just don't participate in that part of the conversation.
You
know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And also I'd like to go back small to the FDIC assured.
Sure.
In my opinion, to a degree, the FDIC insured is poo-poo as of now. So I don't care personally if it's not insured, if crypto's not insured by them, because as we just talked about, if something were to happen, we all needed the insurance. They can't cover the tab. So now you have that
it's
tab.
all bullshit anyway.
Tab. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm good with all that.
You ever see that movie Tommy Boy, where they're talking about the part store? He's like, if you want,
that's exactly what it is. It's a guarantee. It's a piece of shit.
A guaranteed piece of shit, right?
Yeah,
it's
like a piece of.
right?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't.
Like, let me know.
Earmuffs. Rusty's got earmuffs, man. Come on.
Let me know. I got time, right, Rusty?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, earmuffs.
No, I mean, sure.
I've got my earbuds in. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Thanks for looking out.
No, we love you.
Trying. But yes, you're right. I do remember that. It's that's probably the best sales pitch anybody's ever done that I've seen it's up there. It's probably in the top 15 sales pitch that I've seen in movies, but it's very true. That's exactly what it is. If you want a guaranteed POS, I'll put it on the side of the box for you. No problem.
Yeah.
Whatever I got to say or do to get you the thing. The only way you really find out if the guarantee meets the product or the product meets the guarantee or whatever, you got to buy it. You got to try it. You got to see how it goes. And this is where we really get back into dip your toe into crypto. Buy it, try it, figure out how it works, right? Yeah. Because that's the only way you're really going to figure out long term if this is a play for you.
Yes.
If you feel halfway comfortable doing this type of investing, arguably, possibly a way of living. People down in El Salvador, they made the switch, right? But it's still being rolled out. Everybody's got to get used to it. Everybody's got to get used to it, a practice, repetition. But there's bigger things here. The businesses got to get together, big business, right, or little business, and come up with new terms on how Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies are integrated into legal binding contracts within that jurisdiction of that country, right? So that's a big thing. And that honestly, when I never kind of really understood this in my earlier years, but I get it now. When they talk about we need guidance, legislation, and regulation, there's pause that needs to be given there that they don't say. When they say we, they mean themselves, the business, the corporate. In my opinion, we the people don't need that. We can self-regulate ourselves.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that a little bit. Only, and here's the
How
reason.
come?
The reason I disagree with just a little is that there does have to be, in my opinion, a set of standards. Okay.
For what though?
And how we're going to agree that we're going to do business with one another on a large scale, interoperabilities between countries when they're doing commerce with one another.
Sure.
You've got these smart contracts that are coming to play. There needs to be like a global agreement, in my opinion, how this new financial system is going to work together. Now, I'm not talking about peer-to-peer. You're right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the pause part. That's the pause part.
The pause part of the
Over
peer-to-peer
here, over
person.
there, separate.
Now, here's the thing. Some people, I would argue most people are less comfortable wild westing it and peer-to-peer and being 100% responsible for themselves. Okay. Most people they're just not even interested in it at all. Okay. So you got to account for those type of people, which is probably the majority of folks. So when all of this stuff is going on now with the regulation, and you see all these countries implementing these regulations and putting together the standards that the rest of the world is going to start using, the whole interoperability of it. Those are necessary things. And that's kind of what we're like working through. In my opinion, we're working through to get to the other side. So yes, the peer-to-peer thing, and then the whole system as a whole are kind of separate.
They are.
They are kind of separate. So, and so this is really good that we're talking about this, because you have people that have very strong opinions on this, and they might be arguing with one another, and they're actually arguing about two different things, right?
They are.
So,
And that's the pause. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're talking about different things. So, and yes, I agree with you. If you are a sovereign person and you're educated and you have your own, Bitcoin in your wallet, and you want to spend it at Farmer John's place, and you want to pay him directly, and you don't need an intermediary to facilitate that payment whatsoever, there's technology that's going to allow you to do that. And I think that
already
is
there.
fantastic. Right.
Yep, it's already there.
There are these other things when it comes into play with all of the other things that the technologies are going to be all woven into this system. There has to be regulations and procedures, policies and procedures in place, and an agreement worldwide of how we're going to play together.
Contracts.
Yeah. I mean, because it's a really big deal. One other thing I wanted to say, as far as, so here we're talking about, you're starting to think about getting into the crypto space. We covered, it could be a little bit by like the Wild Wild West and the FDIC and don't brag and that. The other thing is, don't spend more than you can afford to lose at this point. Okay. Don't get all happy and excited and go out and spend a bunch of money that you don't have, or take money out on a credit card. Especially when you don't even know what you're doing at this point. Don't do that. This is a dip a toe, right? So you don't want to lose a bunch of money. And I say this because I did. Okay. I didn't lose money. You only lose money if you sell it. Okay. But I got excited. I got in, and I bought into something that it'll come back around. Right. But what it did is it tied up my capital, because I put all my stuff in this one project, and then the price started going down, and it locked me in, it trapped me in. Okay. Mm-hmm. I was guilty of not doing my own due diligence, my own research on the project. And I trusted what everybody else was saying. You need to do your own research. You need to trust your own gut. If something resonates with you, start digging into it a little deeper and start to buy a little bit, but don't go buying bags of stuff because Joe down the street told you it was a good buy. right? Or some pretty girl that's selling coins and, she's really pretty and whatever. And she's telling you, buy this and whatever. Yeah. Or some,
I don't know that part's going to be a tough
yeah,
sell for
just
the male
you,
guys. Like
you young men
it's
out
tough.
there.
It's tough. But as soon as they start talking big numbers, it's an easy no. It's an easy no. We're like no.
I'm
No.
just saying, I think, and there's a Mr. Rico. I'm assuming that you're a male. Don't fall for these Jezebels out there trying to sell you the crypto.
Yes, exactly.
But,
Exactly. Don't. But you're right. Let's touch on. I'd like to touch on your if you feel comfortable in doing so. Your story that you were just kind of alluding to about you got excited.
Yeah.
Right. So in investing in anything, you must recognize your emotions. You must leave your emotions literally at the door. You must recognize when you are being emotional.
Mhm.
So you were excited.
Mhm.
What got you excited?
Okay. So
The end thing. What was like I'm doing this.
The end thing was I had started listening to some crypto influencers. Okay. And there was a group of people and I started, listening to them. There was a handful of them. Okay.
Sure.
All chiming in the same thing. Buy this. And it's the next YouTube. It's going to be this. It's so great. And that coupled with decentralization and sovereignty and freedom. And, we don't get screw the man and all this stuff. Right. And so I came into it, I was listening to it and I'm like, I could totally see another some other project being the next YouTube, right? I had visited the site, and I'm talking about Theta, okay. And I had went on there, and it's a gamers thing. There was gaming TV and stuff like that. But the first thing I noticed was the influencers weren't even on Theta. Okay, this is still kids on this Theta thing, but I was excited and I thought I had some money, but like the weird thing is I had money that I normally wouldn't have had. And so I wanted to get in on this, because I was trusting of these people initially. Right. And so I didn't even know, Simon, how to do what we're trying to help people do now and talking about setting these things up. So I was navigating, trying to figure out how to connect my bank to, what kind of place to buy it. And then I had to buy this in order to buy the Theta and all this stuff. And long story short, I bought it at the height of the FOMO when everybody was saying buy it. And it was like $12.50. And it's under $1 now. It's like 65. It's low. Okay. Now I
know. I wish I had a little pile of cash to go get some more right now.
But and I know and actually, if I wasn't so bitter, I would be actually wise to buy a big old bag of it right now to lower my average cost.
Yeah, dollar cost average. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I have other things that I'm interested in. And thankfully, you, my friend, are somebody that told me this tip long ago. And you said, Melissa, you only lose money if you sell it. Okay. It might not be tomorrow, but I do think that this project in the long run was going to be around. Okay. And these things have their ups and downs, and you don't know that when you first come to the space. So you were the one that just told me it's already done. Like, what are you going to do? Sell it now for, pennies on the dollar? That's silly. Just leave it alone and forget about it, which is what I've done. I just set it off to the side and it's sitting there. And when that baby starts going back up in this next bull run, then I'm going to decide whether I'm going to get out of it. I might just get out of it entirely, because since then I've learned so many. I mean, like XRP, even Bitcoin. I could have done Bitcoin, and I don't know. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, you got to go slow when you're coming into this, and you need to start to understand these things before you really spend a large amount of money in it. And you don't want to give yourself a bad taste in the mouth because you just bought a project that somebody told you to buy and then it crashes, 5 months later, which is kind of what happened with me. But So
Yeah, I remember your story, and thank you honestly for sharing that hard crypto story. Anybody that is in this space has more than one. I
Yes.
have one. I have one. And it's right there. And I can't wait. Like there's no
I want to
coming
know
back
your
from it.
story, Simon. What's your story?
Okay.
Tell it.
I'll share this. But before I share this story, I'd like to comment on the going slow, the hype, like the emotion, the excitement. And thank you for sharing that with everybody else out in this space. Whoever watched this video, listen to this space in this space. And that is the only time that you lose money is when you sell below the price that you acquired that coin or token, right? Second to that, you talked about you don't know just yet if you're going to stay in for a little bit longer. I mean, because you waited this long. I mean, you've literally hit rock bottom in the price for this project, right? And now we're making the turn in the market per se. So it's like, well, why don't I wait till I realize some profit, right? Now, what are you going to do there? That's what you should be figuring out now. Plan your trade and be prepared to trade your plan, meaning this is what I intend to do at this point going forward. However, let's say it takes another 18 months for you to get to the even level. Things are going to change in your life, right? I know it's not the answer you wanted to hear, right? You don't want to hear 18 months of getting even. Nobody does. Nobody totally does. Well, so let's positive side. You're up 50%, right? So realize some profits right there. Maybe take that 50% profit, put that back in your pocket, and just let it ride up again and go, okay, I remember XRP being the hot biz in town. And it sure looks like it's going to be the hot biz in town for a little bit while. So I'm going to take half my profits, wait for this price to come down a little bit more. And I'm going to dip my toe into this one now and see how it goes for me. Right? Wash, rinse, repeat. Now here's my bad story. Emotions. So, it is preached to the high heavens that when you are sending cryptos from one wallet to another wallet, whether that be your wallet or the wallets you have control, like from one exchange to another, one mobile wallet to your cold storage, or a wallet to you to another friend, or whatever, peer-to-peer transaction. So I was sending coins from a wallet to an exchange. I had enough time, but just enough time to do this. So I'm in a rush. I'm excited. I'm like seeing an opportunity. I'm seeing this opportunity to get in and to 2x my funds. Like I'm literally watching. I'm like, oh, golden goose. Oh, but I have to go. I told so-and-so I'd be there to do this thing, right? It's not an emergency. I'm creating the emotional pressure on myself.
Yeah.
I punch in the address manually because that's what worked for me. Okay. Yes. I verified the address, but I broke protocol. I did the first 6 and the last 6 of the whole public address or public keys, whatever you want to call those.
Yeah.
Numbers or spots 7, 8, and 9 were different. The rest of the address was completely the same. And I sent 6,000 stable coins to an address.
No.
Yeah.
Simon.
I sent them over there. I sat there to wait on the exchange for the confirmation, right? Because I'm watching. I click the transaction or the TX hash ID number. It's a hyperlink. It takes you to the block explorer, right?
Yep.
I click that. There it is. There's the confirmations. There's this. I'm again checking the first and the last numbers. Dude, it's all legit. What's going on here? And then it was like it had been an hour and a half. I had already texted whoever, hey, I'm in a situation. I ain't coming right now. I don't care. I'm focused on this. I figured out what happened. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I sent them to the wrong address.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, maybe there's a way out. Maybe there's a way out because I've heard of multiple ways out. I instantly called someone to help me out with that because I had a connection, right? And I explained the situation. We conversed over emails and one phone call. And then I got the call that nobody wants to get. We can't get them back. And I was like, well, why? Explain this to me, because I know I'm not going to be the only one that is going to do this. And I really hope, selfishly, that I'm not the only one that does $6,000. I hope somebody does it for a little bit more. So I could be like, I can relate to you, but at least I didn't do 10,000 stable coins. Anyways, that's just me being mean and selfish. So what had happened is basically, since I sent them to that address, inadvertently, I created another wallet that nobody has access to. Nobody has the private keys. I created this wallet by sending it to that address. So basically I created a burn wallet.
Oh.
There's no going back. It's done. And for a moment there, like while I was waiting for this information to come back, I was like, you know what? I really hope I sent them to some single mother that's down on their luck, or maybe, you know, some kid or wherever I was, or whoever. I was just like, I'm like, Lord, please let these 6,000 stable coins go to somebody that is worthy of my mistake and my lesson. Right.
Yeah. Well,
there they are. Anybody can look at them. And honestly, if anybody gets them out, I tip my hat to you. Just maybe hook me up with at least 50% and I'll actually be good with it. But that is my oopsie. And it all came down to me not recognizing the fact that I had put myself in an emotional place of feeling rushed. Anytime you say the word feeling, that's emotion, and you need to stop. You need to walk away and go about your business, because a crypto transaction saved is a crypto transaction earned. Meaning, if I wouldn't have made that mistake, I could have had another opportunity somewhere else later. That opportunity and the opportunities that could have followed are now gone. So I call that my $6 million mistake.
Yeah.
Because it could have cost me $6 million.
Well, no, and for those of you that that are listening and thinking about participating, that sounds really scary. It sounds like, oh, well, I don't want to. Why would I even want to participate in any of this at all? We've come a long way with this. And this goes back to what Kathleen said last week with always send yourself a little test. And
I didn't test.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's like a good rule now.
I didn't do it.
Always send yourself. And yes, depending on what you send, could the fee be X amount of dollars? And, you know, you're going to spend a little bit of more money by testing it out. But would you actually rather spend that extra money, or would you want to lose $6,000? I mean, in this particular example,
6,000 stable coins, not dollars, to be abundantly clear.
Stable coins. Oh, okay. I didn't know what stable coin it was. Oh, we got
it was
Mr.
I'll tell you in private, because
raising his hand.
Come on.
Oh, see if I can get him up here. I will say one of the Mr. Rico had made a comment. Ethereum dropped off a cliff as soon as he bought it. Luckily, he only had dipped a toe. So he's subscribing to dipping a toe.
So, you know what? Honestly, I think every one of us have to go through that in this space. In any investing, actually. I've talked to people when they were just getting into stocks. They're like, oh, 2 days after I bought it, it dropped. A week after I bought it, it dropped. You know, like, how come you never hear about the person that, oh, when I bought it, it went up to this much? I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Back to what you were saying earlier. Keep your mouth shut. When you're winning, you're dead quiet in that room. When you're losing, you are hands up in the air, freaking out. Okay, maybe not freaking out, but your mouth ain't shut. So how do you know who's winning? It's this person in the room.
Yeah, the one with the mouth. Yeah, I noticed when I watch the playback, maybe I'm practicing because I'm always doing the
yeah, you go full Neo in the Matrix when his mouth gets, yeah.
I want to welcome Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon, welcome to the show. Do you have anything that you'd like to contribute?
Oh, my bad. I was just saying hello. I didn't want to speak. I'm just here to listen.
Well, hello, Mr. Moon. You said
Oh.
hello. All right, my man.
Well, thank you very much. And if you do have any questions, just raise your hand
Sure.
and let us know. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I had some fun last night. I staked my flare and songbird on my Bifrost. I don't know.
Nice.
Was it
I don't know
simple?
if you guys. Yes.
I haven't done stuff like that yet. I'm kind of all my friends do it, but I don't do that. But yeah, I'm just glad to hear that you had success for it, because a lot of times that stuff sounds complicated, but you did you navigated through it successfully. It sounds like.
Yeah. My buddy finally got his flare airdrop from Coinbase, and I've been nagging him the whole time. Hey, that's just sitting there. Don't sell it because you get airdrops.
Yeah.
So he shot back at me. Did you wrap yours? I said, I didn't have the flare airdrop, but since he said that, I just went and bought like $20 of flare and 20 of songbird just to see.
Yeah.
And it was
Perfect.
really cool.
That's fantastic.
Perfect. Well, congratulations. That's awesome, man. That is the perfect way to dip your toe.
Mr. Moon dipped his toe. Huh? He's dipping his toe and he's practicing, see, and that's what we're talking about here is going slow, dip a toe, go slow, dip a toe. I'm gonna have fun.
It's catchy, man. I talked to some people today about hey man, you gonna come by the show, the Dip a Toe Crypto show. They're like, oh, that's good. I'm like, I know, right? Like, dude, I got no credit on it, dude. It's not me.
There you go.
Help you go with crypto.
Yeah.
I got you, Rusty. I feel you. Yeah,
Yep.
I told
write a little jingle. That'll be fun.
work on it, sister. Work on it. I told Ryan at the show, I said, dip a toe, let's talk crypto. And he was like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm like, well, we like it. So
Well,
you know what though? So here's
I'll
jump in on that.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we're not stealing them. We're not diabetes.
Exactly.
Like we want you to keep your toe.
We want you to keep your toe. We just want you
maybe
to
he was
dip
feeling
it.
like
We just want you to dip it in that chocolate or something. Maybe something good, some caramel.
Everybody's got it's just like everyone's got a creative difference when it comes to
yeah, exactly.
the branding or the name or the jingle or the marketing or whatever.
We were just goofing around.
Awesome space.
Thank you so much. We were just
I really
goofing
appreciate
around.
y'all for doing it.
I appreciate you for coming up and being a speaker.
Thanks for the love and support. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, we love your input.
Thank you. When that PORN bot popped in here, please excuse the jumbotron, everybody.
Thank you.
A bot came in here and went crazy.
I don't know how. Is this? Can I exit?
I think you can take it down as co-host. I think
I'm trying to. It won't let me exit it. Well, that's okay.
Can I jump on?
Divine providence that my mother-in-law was just over my house a minute ago and just asking me about what I thought about what's going on with Bitcoin, and I was like, okay, you need to hold on. I said we need to talk about some basic stuff before.
Oh my!
She does day trading, and she's getting more and more interested in the cryptocurrencies because she knows that the dollar's about to die.
I am more. Oh wait, remove. Thank God. Wait, I'm mortified. Please don't look at the jumbotron. Holy smokes! I thank you, Rusty. I'm like, holy.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad my phones are way over there. And I'm also very grateful that my wife is not here. I'm kind of at the same time, I wish my wife was here so I could be like, can you handle this, please?
Just go for it.
Go full mama bear, please. I need you full mama bear right now.
Oh my gosh.
Rusty, that's I love it when that happens. I love it when when the people come to you and go, hey, I'm really seeing this now. I've heard about it for 2 years. And then all of a sudden there's this price explosion, which is kind of ironic. People never ask about the cryptos when they're down in the price gutter. When honestly, that's literally like Black Friday deals. in my opinion. But they always ask when it's on the way up. They're like, I'm ready to get in. It's like you're kind of at the top of the mountain. I mean, you can watch the sunrise. It's cool, chillax, but it's really about the walk down, because walking down a hill is nice and easy. Your dollar cost averaging.
Yeah.
If you're trying to buy up as you walk up the hill, it can be a little bit more challenging. You kind of actually, you hold back a little bit more versus on the way down than you do on the way up. But people like it on the way up. And it's like, you could do that on the way down and you'd come out a little bit heavier in the asset that you're trying to acquire.
Isn't that always the way though? Like
always.
It's kind of like, if everybody else is doing it now, I'm going to do it. Right. They're like, we are the different ones that are trying to learn something. And, it is a little bit risky, right? I mean, you're educating yourself on something that you have personally never been exposed to before. Many people, like, they lack confidence when it comes to finance or things they don't understand. And we're here. This show is to inspire you and let you know that you can do it. If you put your mind to it and you get yourself a good network of people and you take things slow, you can figure this out. You can do this. And there are plenty of people that would be willing to help you do it. So, but yeah, it is that. And that's why that's why the FOMO, or the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, works so well on the population, because people don't, they want to go with the crowd. And so it's so easy to manipulate that way, right? Because nobody wants to do anything if nobody else is doing it. They don't want to stick their neck out or whatever.
Because they have no baseline of judging how something is going. Like, most people judge on other people's reactions. So
right.
If you have, right, I mean, like, that's just like, that's natural, right? It's very natural, right? We know when something bad is happening in the room, because we can just look around the room and go, hey, the vibe changed, I'm out of here. Versus, oh, hey, the vibe changed, oh, I'm back in here. But to do it yourself takes courage and bravery. Absolutely. And I'd also like to kind of touch on something that always seems to happen in my crypto business. A lot of people that I've talked to kind of tend on to come on become clients because the price is moving. And it's like, without fail, I'll say, so why did you want to sign up today? Other than you're ready to get in. Why are you ready to get in? That's always my question. Why today versus when I came to you, say a couple weeks ago? And they're like, well, the price went up. It's like, okay, so you were on the fence, unsure, but then you didn't want to miss out. And they're like, actually, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm glad we actually had this breakthrough. It's like crypto psychology. And it's like, that is FOMO. And some people that don't know that term, they look at you like, what? What'd you just say to me? Like, huh? It's like fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Right. You had the fear of missing out. And so I'm glad you're here, but let's recognize that. Let's educate you on the processes to get in and get onboarded. But if it were me, I may just dip my toe in on acquiring some Bitcoin because we just had a high, right? We just went up, right? And then maybe wait to see what happens. Learn that this is a great time to learn. Right. Where's the price going to go? And you're going to go, well, I don't know. It's like, cool. Well, maybe watch someone that's doing some charts. They're going to have their opinion. They're going to kind of build a case, but don't take it as gospel. Yeah. Just go, that person said here, I don't really understand why. Perfect. Let's learn that. Because in my opinion, you must know how to read a chart at the basic level, just as in what a candlestick is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, that might be a little bit more advanced for dip your toe in, but but it's kind of interesting. All the clients come on when the price runs up.
because that is when the TV personalities, the mainstream media starts to tell you that it's okay, right? Or they'll start putting out a barrage of articles, and the bow tie guys will get on and be interviewed by some business thing on CNN or whatever. The money guys that seem to know everything, and I've realized the older I get, I used to watch the news and I used to just take it for face value. Like, okay, these guys are the news and they're telling the truth. And I'd see them talking about the financial stuff, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's so complicated. They're so much smarter than me and whatever. And then as I got older, I think once I crossed over my 40s, I'd start seeing like younger people on there, or just people just spouting off, and I'm like, who are you? And like what you're saying doesn't sound right to me at all. Like, right?
Who let you in the building?
Who the hell are you? And where'd you get your schooling from?
That's
Because
funny.
I don't agree
That's too
with
funny.
you. And so, I just started thinking, yeah, I didn't go to be a series 6 or 7 or whatever, to sell these things and the stocks and bonds and all that stuff. And they really make it sound complicated. And so most people trust others, institutions in particular, to handle their money for them. Right. And so now we're in a day and age where the exposure is coming, it's getting larger and larger, to where people are realizing, oh man, they might not have told us the truth. This is kind of a screwed up situation. And so more and more people are starting to pay attention and give attention. I keep saying pay. I want to get out of saying pay. I want to give my attention to the things that I value. And I no longer want to pay my attention or my time for anything. I'll give it, because then I can get something back from it.
Like crypto.
And and that is the other thing, is like a lot of us, we've been in this for several years now, and people like, oh gosh, here they go again. They roll their eyes. And I admit I've had to reel myself back a little bit, because I'd be, I'd get with my kids and I'd be, and they don't know. And they're just like, Mom, okay, right. I mean, nobody wants to talk to the person that is going on and on about something that they have no idea of right at the moment, or no interest in. And so I've had to reel myself back a little bit. But I really do want to share the things that I know. And that's part of the reason for this show also, is that you and I both know, Simon, that when things start turning up, and they're going to, and it won't be that long, there's going to be a ton of people coming at us, asking us, how do I do this? And how do I do that?
Already.
And they can go watch our videos, and we can help them that way. Any materials or people that we value, because we're not even going to have time to actually do one-on-one with as many people that are probably going to come at us in some form or fashion.
So I'll speak to that. I will speak to that. I'm noticing in what you're talking about, which is the cryptocurrency consultant, right? The guide for that, right? Which is more of the consultant is not so much, let's have a talk. It's, hey, I'm literally going to be here with you, whether on the video chat or we can meet in a place, but I'm literally going to show you how to throw the ball. And I'm going to make you throw the ball. Actually, I'm going to make you swing the bat. I'm going to make you get in the batter's box. I'm going to make you catch a pop fly, or whatever sports reference you want to. Or no, you're going to make your Betty Crocker brownies. Yep. Crack the egg. Don't make a mess. Don't get the egg in the shell in the mix, and blah, blah, blah. All these. Oh yeah. Clean up your mess too. But maybe obviously not as mom or dad like, right? As a crypto consultant, we're really there to pardon the term, hold your hand, walk with you through all those processes. Yeah. To your point, we can't show how to walk as effectively when there's, much like a teacher, when there's 30 plus students in the room, 50% of them ain't going to get it, because honestly, the teacher should really only have 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Right. Even if I did a video, a group setting, right, for myself, I've thought about this. Can I do a group setting? Absolutely. Is everybody going to get that information? And the answer is no, because I've been on the other side of that. I've been a part of group webinars and etc., where I got information, I had questions, time ran out, and the show's over.
And the show's over. Yep.
But the positive side was I had the courage and the pardon the term, the balls, to go and find that research, reach out to maybe some of those people I was in that classroom and go, hey, what was this? Just like you did in school. Hey, did you get the answer to number 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this. Right. There's no gatekeeping of information at all. Go do your research. Call us. Most of us will call and just text, and there's no charge. It's the where the money comes into that play. Like for you, Melissa, I know for myself, is when we're booking an appointment, we're really taking the time and we are focused on that individual and their needs and their situation. Like there's a whole coup de grace of variables in there that we need to address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and there are a lot of people out there that'll help, and different personalities jive with different personalities, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
One with one person might not understand it from this teacher or helper, but maybe
Absolutely.
someone else. So it's really great that you have that. And so this is another reason why we're doing this show now, is getting you to start thinking about it and start setting these things up and starting these little baby steps, because when it does click, you're going to want to be prepared and be able to actually purchase something, right? So but you have to understand how this works before you go diving in blind. And so that brings me to another tip. If you wouldn't mind me throwing another one out there.
No, go throw the ball, girlfriend. They'll catch it.
Another tip is, when you're new to the crypto space, there's a lot of different sites, websites, exchanges, and that sort of thing. You want to make sure that you go directly to the website. Okay. So if you're gonna go to an exchange, if somebody tells you to use Coinbase, or BitTrue or Kraken or whatever the site of your choice that you're going to go to, you want to make sure that you type in that website exactly how it's spelled, the correct one, verify, look around, make sure it's the right website, make sure that it has the little secure HTTPS up in the search or up in the address bar, where you can see that it is a secure website, so that any information that you put in that website is secure, right? You're going to sign up for an account. You don't want to be going to a site that's not secure. So that is and hopefully most people live by this nowadays, because there is so much spamming to our emails and whatnot.
Probably not. I mean, to a degree, yes, but probably not at the full extent that maybe we probably should be.
So I'm going to recommend this, and this is what I did. So you start to do your research on these different places, and you don't know at this point if you want to use Coinbase. You don't know if you want to use Kraken. You don't know. You hear all these people talking about all these exchanges that they go to, and you're like, I don't know what it is. Figure out what the real ones are. Figure out what the websites are. No matter what browser you have, you can bookmark it and create yourself a folder and put those in a bookmark folder, right? Exchanges, or name it whatever is going to click with you to what it is, and then bookmark that site that you verified that it's a real site. And every time you go to that site, you go through that bookmark So you know you're connecting to the accurate website.
I'd like to
Right.
add something to that. Oh,
Yes.
wait, oh,
Okay.
oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
sorry.
There's the
I know
hand again.
we're on here, but I know we're on spaces as well, right?
Oh, okay.
Thanks for the hand.
Yeah.
So to that extension, most people have their phones. They don't have PC too much. Some have laptops, but a lot of the majority of people just do it from their phone, right? So again, you're going to want to do what Melissa is suggesting, right? Here's an example.
I got ideas for that.
Here, yeah, cool. Here's an example of verifying the website. Anytime that I get like a link, there's the website. I'll either type it in manually or I'll copy. I will paste. I will not hit enter. I will delete everything up until the .com or .io or whatever. Any / and beyond, that is gone, right? And then I'll see what happens. That's my own practice. That's on me. I fully accept the consequences if something does happen, right? But that's one way. Another way, in regards to apps, there is at some level the verification process through like the App Store. Is the App Store for iOS, right? Apple, the App Store.
Yeah, the App Store, and
Yep.
then there's Google
And
Play.
then Google Play, right? There is a security protocol that you must go through to be posted on there. It didn't used to be back in the day, but they have come a long way in protecting their clients, their users from nefarious apps like that. So if it's not there, then you probably shouldn't be playing with it at all until you really figure stuff out. So just I wanted to throw that out there because I do know a few things around.
I don't know if y'all touched on this yet, but I think it would be really great for people who are dipping their toes in to know and understand and decide, did they want to have, their own keys? And again, I don't know if you guys have touched on this because I'm in the process of doing baths and getting everybody ready for bed. But
no, we haven't gotten there yet. And you're exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But
okay, I was going to say that can help people to make them their decision on which exchange they want to obtain, the crypto from, because some of them hold the keys, and I was never comfortable with that. So I didn't want to rush y'all, but I just wanted to suggest that be, added in if y'all hadn't already.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, Rusty. Yeah, she's bringing up a good point in terms of, where, that's kind of like where you buy your crypto from, not your keys, not your coin. And so if you go on, you create an account, and if you don't have the seed phrase and you don't have those, the keys populated, you don't have complete control over your coins, do you?
Just like
I
a
started
bank.
my journey in Robinhood, and when I found out that I couldn't control them the way I wanted to, I figured out, okay, I need to put these on a cold wallet immediately because I don't feel comfortable with them being on this exchange.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, I keep busting in and
no, bust in. That's what.
You.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
I'm just kind of setting up some basics prior to even getting to that point of getting to an exchange. I'm trying to get people to think about when they are looking into these things for the first time, that you don't want to just go willy-nilly, clicking on whatever link somebody is sending you to, because it might not be to the site that you think it is. Okay. So if, even if you're following somebody and they say, it's a XYZ site, blah, 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 this is where you go, click this link. Not everybody's a good guy. Okay. Trust but verify. So say somebody, there's a lot of affiliate marketing and stuff going on, and I support it. I love it. If somebody can get a little kickback for pointing you towards their favorite wallet or exchange or whatever, I don't have a problem with that. But make sure that is going to go to the site that it's supposed to go to, right? So, but before we get too far, with that, I was just thinking, Before, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things I screwed up when I started in crypto. I'm telling you things I wish that I had done actually from when I started. Number one, create a separate email that you only use for crypto. Don't use your personal email that you've had for 25 years. Okay. That you have every Tom, Dick, and Harry sending you spam emails because you signed up for the damn clip the coupon shit. And then you got, thousands and thousands of emails sent to you at any given time. You can't weed through that. And so you want to be able to have an email that is designated, and maybe you have several emails for crypto only. And the reason I say that is, number one, it's easier to navigate through and you'll know who's supposed to be emailing you because nobody has that email, right? In theory, at the time, nobody has that email. A lot of people go a step further and do the Proton mail or, the super secure type emails. You could use a Microsoft email, in my opinion, Outlook or whatever, just a separate email that you haven't used for anything else when you're signing up for accounts. Keep your life separate. Keep your regular life separate from your crypto life, especially as you're trying to navigate things, because believe me, when life gets crazy, like Simon's story earlier, where he said he's got to go do something in 15 minutes and he's trying to do all this stuff. Life goes so fast. You're going to make a mistake. You will, you're going to make a mistake. It's a lot easier to control yourself and see what's happening if you have a place where you go, like the email, if for whatever, whenever you're signing up, that you have that email separate from your regular stuff. So I don't know if you want to touch on that any more, or did I beat the horse?
It's good. I do actually, I'll touch on that. What Melissa's talking about and really bringing up all these a pre-checklist or things you might want to have ready to go before you dip your toe. And
there's a new one, Rusty. Get it ready to go before you dip your toe.
Get everything ready to go before you dip your toe. And that means you carve yourself time. If you're going to do something in crypto, and this is something I educate my clients on, especially new ones. I do throw it to the seasoned ones that need a little extra help in this changing market, technology and space, all of it, right? Because it does change fast. It's tough for us seasoned people to even keep up and pass that information along. But carve that time out. Yeah. I am dealing with my cryptos. Very wealthy people will say that it is a full-time job to manage your money and assets and business. It is a full-time job. Okay, so I'm not saying that to scare you or to discourage. It is, treat it like your second job to a degree. If anybody out there has grown anything, if you've grown any vegetables, flowers that you like, you take the time and you do all the work. You water them, you give them a little Miracle Grow if you're into that, or a nice little fresh manure, or whatever your process is. You're carving out, you're taking the time, you're at work. Hey, Bob, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, man, me and the wife, she got them tomato seeds, man. We're going to get those ready to go. We're going to go down to Mary's nursery down there and we're going to get this type of pot. Man, I did my research on this. Okay, you're getting everything ready to go before you dip your toe right there. Yeah, same thing. Do the same thing. Carve out that time. If you're wanting to learn about crypto, carve out a little time. Wednesdays between 4:30 to 6:30 on the West Coast, 7:30 to 9:30 on the East Coast. Maybe that'll help you out right here on Spaces.
Mr. Moon.
So yeah, that's all I have to say. All of that.
Mr. Moon looks like he's agreeing. You got anything to add to that, Mr. Moon? Any opinion on that? I don't know if he can unmute his mic and enter, but he was digging what you were saying. I noticed him, Rusty too. in
It's
agreement.
great. It's always wonderful to remind people to take your time, be
Yep.
intentional,
Yep.
be careful, be
Yep.
thorough, and treat
Yep.
it just as something that you're growing that'll become something more and bigger and better and fruitful in the future.
Yep.
And it's important to take it seriously. It's important to be deliberate and strategic about what you do, how you do it, especially because this is such a new space. We're in a fraction of 1% of people on the planet who are actually doing this right now.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do it, we might as well do it correctly and help other people do the same thing and do it right and be good stewards of this knowledge that we've been given, because it's truly a gift. This is the
Amen.
fourth industrial revolution.
Okay.
And to be in this space right now and to understand what ISO 20022 compliant tokens really mean. This is, I use this analogy and I think it's really good, and feel free to add to it or tweak it. But this is equivalent to us in the early 1800s buying a chunk of a mountain pass that had coal in it, and that we also knew that the railroad company was going to need to buy from us.
Yep.
Or rent from us to put their rails down and also buy the coal that's in that mountain. If you had the chance to buy that piece of property, knowing that the locomotive industry was going to change everything, of course you'd buy it and hold on to it and take care of it.
Yeah.
This is what this is. And this is
I would also build a
a
hot dog stand right there.
God brought me here.
Same here, Rusty. What's that, Simon?
I said I would also build a hot dog stand. I mean, might as well. Workers are going to need food. You right there, make a little money off them as well. Sure, why not?
No, she's exactly
She's right. Absolutely right.
And that is why I'm so excited about this space. And is that the fact that we have everybody working together, right? So yes, there's camps and they argue back and forth, and this person likes this token or coin or project over this one or whatever.
Yep, bannerism.
But the long and short of it, because there's always tribalism in stuff. I mean,
tribalism, bannerism. Yep, same. Yep.
That's humans, right? But for the most part, no matter what, the majority, and I mean a large majority of people, no matter what you support, they all want to help others, and they're sincere. I've never seen anything like this in my life. The quality of people that are involved in this space that want to help, they're great. And so if you do come across a jerk, and you get misguided, there are a lot of people out there that will be able to point you in the right direction, right? And so that's where we say, take it slow. Understand that this is it's a new beginning. We are living in the greatest time of our life right now. The future is at our fingertips, and it's being molded. Oh, we got Farmer John hopping in.
Melissa.
Yes,
Melissa,
ma'am.
remember when you were talking about in the mid to late 90s when they were poking fun at emails? What do you need an email for?
Yeah.
And the internet's a scam and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
If you could go talk to yourself in 1997
Yes.
and tell yourself that Amazon was not just going to be a bookseller online. Amazon was going to be the number one retail behemoth in the entire space. And not only that, they would dominate logistics. And not only that, they would be the number one data storage center in the world. If you could even tell yourself what data storage was in the 90s,
you wouldn't even
most
have known.
People wouldn't have known what that was.
None.
Exactly. But I tell people, if you could have told yourself what Amazon was going to become in 1997, would you not be all over that?
Yeah.
And this is even
100%.
bigger and better than Amazon. This is going to make Amazon look like a Girl Scout cookie stand in front of Kroger.
Yep. I agree with you. 100%. I agree. Simon's scratching up right now.
Rusty, I love you. I love it, girl. I absolutely love it. I love the reference, man. That is prime. That is prime. I love it.
I love the way you say it. No,
Amazon look like a Girl Scout cookie in front of Kroger.
We really do. I want people to grasp that I'm not bullshitting. We have, I know I said bad language, but I'm not, it's no BS. We have the greatest opportunity of a lifetime right now. And I am super excited and fired up for it. And I hope that we do inspire people to start looking into this and give them some confidence to try to do this by themselves. Through us. So let's keep going on with some of these tips, if you don't mind.
Roll with it.
So another thing, where I screwed up, well, I didn't screw up on this, but before you start, if you're even thinking about creating a wallet, say after you're doing some research and you decide, I am going to just try to set myself up a wallet. You don't have to put anything in there yet. You just need to just try to see if you can create a wallet, right? And you decide to use Exodus, for example. And you go to the website, you go through the steps of populating it and everything. Know that you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. Preferably some like the waterproof paper if you've got it. And I mean, I would recommend having waterproof paper if you have it. People have also talked about having, what do you call it? UV pens and black light, right? So you write it on there, you can only see it with the UV, but have these things available, something that some kind of good piece of paper or book or something that you're going to write these seed phrases down, the seed words down, because when it happens, you don't want to be at your kitchen table and then looking over and trying to find a scrap piece of paper. Be prepared. Have a pen, a good pen, have a good piece of paper or book or something. I mean, I have like a, I don't put not for this one, but this is like a field book that's waterproof. You can also buy, you can buy all kinds of different storage devices, but we can get to that later. But in the initial setup of a wallet, you need a pen and paper. Okay. Do not copy and paste them onto your computer anywhere. Do not take a picture of them with your phone.
Take a picture of what?
Of your seed phrases. So if you start,
and what are your seed phrases?
A series of words.
And what do they represent in the wallet?
They represent your private key, baby.
And what are very important about the private keys? What is their function in a crappy situation?
Their function in a crappy situation. Ooh, you're asking me a hard question.
Example, someone stole your phone. Your Exodus wallet app is on your phone. Your phone is gone, but you had the good sense of getting your pad and paper and you wrote down your 12 to 24 seed phrases. What are you able to do with your new cell phone?
Are able to repopulate that wallet.
Wallet recovery.
Wallet recovery.
But that's the only way you're going to be able to do that. Yeah, that's the only way.
And that's the difference. I mean, that's the difference between some of these places. So for example, if you buy crypto, say on Coinbase, for example, right? Does Coinbase give you your seed phrases?
Nope.
No. But they hold it for you there. You can hold it there for a second, right? You can leave it there, but it's not really in your own wallet. Then it's assigned to you. You have a wallet, like it's a bucket for you within Coinbase. And I'm not using the right terms. Here we go. Just step in.
I like the bucket though.
I just look at it like this. Okay. There's a place where you go in Coinbase is a good one. You can go, you buy your crypto from them. And you got your coins sitting on there, or like Rusty was saying, what's the place called?
Robinhood, Uphold.
There's Webull and all these things, right? Mm-hmm. But not your keys, not your crypto. So if you buy this and it's sitting in Coinbase, you can't quickly access that, right? You want to be able
if you need to. Yeah, if you need to.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Now some people, they are perfectly fine with leaving it on Coinbase. I'm not. I would rather not leave my anything that I buy in the hands of others. I do that now with my bank account, with my check, my paycheck gets left in a bank. So I don't want to do that with my crypto also at this point. Let's look and see if we got some.
You also wouldn't do that with your silver or gold. What Melissa here is alluding to is if you went to a silver and gold coin store and you bought the silver or gold or both, would you leave it at the store? No. You'd put it in your pocket, the Exodus wallet. You'd drive home, undo the combination to your cold storage wallet, safe, and you'd put them in there. And then you look out the window, make sure nobody's out there that's not supposed to be in your driveway or whatever your protocols are at that point, But that's essentially what you're doing in the crypto space. When you finally are ready to dip that toe, do a little practice before you go. You buy crypto from Coinbase, Uphold, Robinhood, any exchange or retail marketplace that gives you the ability of sending those coins from that place of purchase. If they don't allow you to do that, you don't play in that sandbox. I don't care who told you to go there. If you cannot send your coins from that exchange into a self-custody wallet, you ain't getting my dollars. You ain't getting a cup of sugar. You ain't getting nothing from me. Sorry. That's just good. That's just good policy. You get nada. So you buy your cryptos from Coinbase. You send them to your self-custody wallet or a pass-through wallet, as some of us like to refer to, like Exodus or Atomic or etc. There's the Trust wallet. I know there's a few other ones out there.
Divvy, right? Isn't it Divvy?
Yeah, you could do Divvy, but then you send them on to a cold storage wallet if you have that. But again, this is research, and practice, being comfortable with the apps and procedures and wallets that you're getting used to. Yes, all very, very good advice. But that's what the private keys are. The seed phrase. If you don't have those, then you truly don't have control of your coins, like you said, Melissa. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to mention Mr. Moon posted, and I put it in the Jumbotron. He posted a YouTube.
Jumbotron?
It's above, like if you look at where our space is and you can see all of us, it's above us, is basically where it goes. So it's like shared in the space. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely do something about the settings. I'm so glad you told me that. I had no idea that person was spamming the space. I hope it doesn't. I blocked them and removed them, but I don't know if it's going to still be there after it's all over. But in any event, Mr. Moon shared how to make your own crypto steel recovery.
Oh yeah,
in
that's
the YouTube.
A good thing.
So yeah, so we're going to share that with everybody because what I was getting kind of back to, preparing yourself for even starting to create a wallet, right? You're new to this. You decided you're going to try the Exodus wallet. You set it all up. You need to have your pencil and paper or paper and pen or whatever. Or like this crypto steel recovery. They have little, you can buy them on the Amazon even. They have little tubes where you can, you can buy the ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I defaulted to a thing like
you were
there's
thinking,
cold storage wallets.
Yeah.
Sorry, knee jerk reaction. Don't do that.
No, I'm talking about
Yes.
And people, I'd have to say, I was really confused by this initially until I really figured out what it was. what it meant. I thought it was like some device, and why I want to put my seed phrase in something I don't know that I'm buying from a stranger or whatever. And they have these things that you can pound out the letter for each of your word, and it's just like a tube. Like some of them are tubes, and you just put each word in order of your seed phrases. And it can't be burnt up, it can't, it doesn't get messed up by water or whatever, and they're like indestructible and stuff. And so that's pretty cool. Some people, they use like the fire paper. There's paper that doesn't burn, and it gets wet, or what is it, the
Yeah, heat
stone
resistant,
paper? Yeah,
water resistant.
there's
I
all
wouldn't
those
call it
kind of,
proof. I would say it's got a good shot. Yeah.
it's got a good shot. So, I mean, so you need to think about these things prior to buying any, buying any crypto. So if you're thinking about it, and you're like me, where you kind of maybe procrastinate weeks or months out as you're thinking, I want to try to look into something, start picking these things up, put it off to the side. This is my, when I'm ready, you're going to have your stone paper or whatever. You're going to get a waterproof or fireproof safe of some sort, or of like the Faraday bag, or the waterproof bags or whatever, that you can put your information in the event that you have a fire or you have a flood or something like that. Or thinking about where you would hide your seed phrase that's written down.
These are all good things to think about, but I would also like to touch on the fact that, like, you don't necessarily need to acquire all these things at once to participate in the crypto space. One could go to the level of, you have the Cash App. You could buy $10 of Bitcoin just to buy. And then you're like, I don't want to invest right now. Right. But you are remembering what
Are you going to
Melissa's
leave it on
talking
the
about.
Cash App though? Are you going to leave it on the Cash App?
$10. Yeah, you bet your sweet
No,
sorry butt
yeah,
I am, because I'm dipping my toe there.
Yeah. So
Because I want to watch the
you
price
can,
action. Maybe
yeah,
it's all different. I don't think, for me, spending money on the tube, some paper, there's a lot of things that can be initially overwhelming with. So you're telling me I have to have all this stuff before I participate?
right.
No,
Well, I'm not saying that, but I do want to push back on this just a little bit.
that pushback.
I agree that, for the Cash App thing, you're going to put $10, and you're going to get your feet wet. That's a different story. So I guess I'm thinking bigger. I guess I'm thinking of what I did. Okay.
Yes.
And I came into it, I was not super prepared for housing my seed phrases. There were things that I didn't think about. I signed up for accounts with existing emails that I already used that had every Tom, Dick, and Harry emailing me to. Okay. These are things that I didn't know about. I wrote down stuff on paper that, after touching it so many times, it's like smudged or whatever. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're thinking about doing it and you're a procrastinator, you could pick these things up a little bit at a time, so that when you do sit down to be able to start to do it, you have these items. You surely do not need them. You do not need them. I'm just trying
all
to.
at once.
All
at once is where that's where I was really trying to. Yeah.
I still don't have one of the crypto steel things. Like, I've wanted to buy one. I don't have one of those. Eventually I will buy one, but I don't have one. I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I haven't bought one yet. But there's things that you can do to prep before you start.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely. I'm on board with that.
Because if you don't, and here's the other thing, I mean, creating your seed phrases, creating your wallet, writing them down. And then, like you're saying, you do to Cash App, and you're buying $10 or whatever, you practice sending that to your wallet, sending it back and forth.
Yeah. That's like step 2. Yeah. That's like step 2. Right.
But here's what's going to happen. And this is why I'm saying, I'm trying to get people to prepare themselves, because this is what happened to me. It took off. and I wasn't prepared. I was still trying in the midst of learning how to do all this stuff. And then all of a sudden the influencers and the FOMO and all this stuff was on 1,000, and everybody was chiming in, and you get excited and you're like, I want to participate. And you don't know A, B, C, D, E, to start out. And so I just think it's really important to set yourself up for success, especially if you're not jumping in yet. At least think about these things. Where are you going to store them? Where are you going to store your seed phrases after it's done? What if you go on vacation? Like, these are things I didn't think about. Do I carry my seed? I was like, I didn't want to, I had my password book of my stuff, of all these different accounts and things I said. And I'm like, I don't want to leave it at home. What if somebody broke in and stole it? I'm like, I was just like, I didn't know. So I want people to get mentally prepared for it and think about these things. Where are you going to hide it? How many copies are you going to make, and where are you going to put them? Right? You should have more than one copy, of your seed phrases, right?
Everything.
Everything. Your email,
everything. Multiple wallets. I mean, when you get to a level of, in my opinion, if you're batting at $1,000 or more, okay, you should have these protocols in place. I would also like to sidestep a little bit and ask this question. If there was a cryptocurrency class, school even, that literally educated people on the preparedness before you even dive down into the topics of Bitcoin and what it is, mining and blah, 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 right? Would you go to it?
Yes.
And that's why there's crypto consultants like you and like me. So when we get together, we not only share this information that's out there, but if people want that type of structure, because some people are like you, Melissa, they are diggers. They dig on information. I know Rusty's up in here too. I know she's a digger, straight up, talking about the mountain. Oh, she had to go. Oh, man, it's trying to give the girl props, but she's a digger. Yeah, I mean, even is it Mr. Moon? Is he still in here?
Yeah, Mr. Moon's still here.
I bet you he's a digger, because he's the one that tried, taking it slow, but he's doing this DeFi space. You got to be at some level a digger of information, even if it's from your friend. You're asking questions that adequates to digging. Other people, they need the structure. They need a list, a step-by-step. Some people can do more of a hybrid 50-50. So I do want to bring that awareness to everybody out there, that if you're not a person that doesn't naturally dig, that's okay. But don't let that stop you from digging. Please dig. But there are classes out there. Some are free. Some are paid. I'm not going to go into the price action. Some might be more than others, right? But look at what you're paying. You're paying not just for the knowledge, but that person's time, and not for that meeting, but what they did to create that program geared towards you in your crypto journey. But this is where Melissa's talking about. Do your research. Is that class, does it even remotely sound like the level that I am trying to get in at? Or, is that the knowledge that I really want? I'm not hearing or seeing the path in this structure of teaching that teaching is going to take me on the path I want to go. Right. So you'll learn and find others.
I think having a class available, I am somebody that would have taken a class, right? We came in this so early that we kind of navigated it around it ourselves, right? And trying to figure this out.
That's how the true teachers do it.
But I guess I'm saying, like, if there had been a class where I went in, and so like a banking class, or you need this ingredient, this ingredient, this ingredient, and blah,
right,
blah, blah.
right. Yeah, right.
You're how you bake the cake. That's kind of like an entry level, because there's things I'm trying to express. There's things that you're not going to think about, and then after you're going to go, oh man, I should have had this, or I should have had that before, or I just should have thought about it. Like even having, like I said, having a pad of a note, having a notepad or book or something that where you keep it all in one place, because if maybe I'm just a person that's out there, but I tend to do things when I put my mind to something. I'm just like, I'm doing it. And I will grab like, oh, this piece of paper over here. And I'm like writing it down. And then later, and I go fast, right? That's the other thing. You got to go slow. You can't go fast. Write your words down and read them. And somebody, one of our friends, probably you, Simon, said, make sure you write down the words and have somebody look at them and see if they can read it, right? The same word, make sure that it's spelled correctly, because if you have
spelled correctly,
if you have it
spelled correctly,
if you screw up and you're like chicken scratch and you go back to read your seed phrases. In fact, people, even if you are this advanced crypto person now and you created your wallet 2-3 years ago and you haven't had to repopulate your wallet, go back and look at your seed phrases and make sure you can read it, because and if you know what I mean?
Yep. Because that's another protocol that comes later. But yes, absolutely. Right? That's a practice and principle you must be following.
Right. And so, I mean, these are just things that I did that some of the mistakes that I made going so fast. Don't go so fast. You need to go slow. You need to go. You need to
cost you 6,000 stable coin.
Oh gosh. And then the other. So here's another tip. While I'm just throwing out these tips. Use a different password for every account you set up. Don't use the same password for every single thing that you sign up for, and use a longer password that has capital letters, numbers, and symbols, because they have all these this is just for this is just good for anything that you're signing up for now that you want secure word password. Mm-hmm. Because of the bot of what do they call it, like the brute force attacks or whatever, they're trying to guess people's passwords or whatever. And remember, the password's only one piece of it, because
but
you're going to do two-factor authentication.
What's it called? I can't remember the name of the program. Is it Predictive Keys? No. I can't remember the name of it.
I think
it's literally a program that can go in there into your system, figure out what keys, what letters you hit the most and what symbols you hit the most.
Are you talking about like a key logger?
Kind of, but there's a few of our crypto friends that have mentioned it in their shows. I've seen it. Mr. McAfee. I was watching some documentary on him or whatever. Really was desperate for some entertainment. That was not the right movie, but it's mentioned in that. It was mentioned in that. Into that, I was like, oh yeah, gosh. So as you're talking about, hey, this is just good practice and principle or protocol for any and all of your passwords that you might have out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because this program can pick up on how many times you hit X amount of keys, and they'll figure it out after they run it through a generator. That takes time and all that, right? I mean, it's just, hey, that's out there. Okay. Yeah. So if that's out there, then make your preparations, as Melissa's suggesting, make a long password. And in fact, go, if you can, I challenge you to do this, because I just challenged myself. Go the full length, the maximum length that they will give to you if you can.
Ooh.
Because some like I was signing up. Oh, actually, I was creating another social media account for Entirely Crypto Solutions. That's my consulting, crypto consultant business. And I had to do 8, but I couldn't do any more than 15. I'm like, fine, 15 it is. Here we go. I was actually a little butthurt. I'm like, 15? That's nothing. That should be at least 30. Come on, man. So anyways. So I challenge you to go the full distance on a password.
Yeah, passwords are important, and then of course, if they most of these they all offer two-factor
Yep.
authentication and
Some type of
other
two-factor
and
authentication. Yep.
yes, and those are very important. And that's another thing. A lot of people weren't very familiar. I wasn't with two-factor authentication, and
But it
so
drove you crazy.
well, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. Like, that's just another step. Like,
Hmm.
before you're even getting involved in crypto and considering putting thousands of dollars on a wallet that you're holding on your phone or your desktop, um, understand how two-factor authentication works, because if you don't understand how that works and you have it on a phone and you
Hmm.
didn't write down, so I made the mistake with that is just like when you do your wallet and it gives you the seed phrase, and that's the key, right, to your thing. um the authenticators, it does the same thing. It gives you something at the beginning when you first set it up that will allow you to repopulate it in the event that your phone dies. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, if you didn't write those things down, if you didn't save that information and your phone dies, and
Bye.
that's the only tie
Yeah.
to your account, and that's your two-factor authentication. It's your email and your two-factor, and
Been
that
there.
it's broke. You're not getting it back. You can't get in. You're locked out, right?
You are locked out. There is
It's
with
a
Google
big
Authenticator,
mess.
it's a big mess, but
It
you
my
can
you
get that back
can
because I did, but
yes,
that was a
my friend
long
did.
time ago. I don't
Yeah.
remember how to do that.
My friend, she transferred a phone over, and she
Yeah.
forgot about that. And it took her a whole bunch of stress, days and days and days, but she did finally, and everything ended up working out. Okay. It's not like everything's like disappeared or whatever, but the fact
No.
of the matter is, these are the little things that I did not know of when I started in this. And I was like, holy smokes, this simple thing I didn't even know that I was supposed to do. And so it was from people like yourself and others that, taught me how to do these things, talked me through. And luckily, that particular authenticator, I didn't really have much, on there or whatever. And I was able to once I got myself freaked out, then I just created a whole nother wallet somewhere else and I completely started over. And once I was in the one wallet, I sent it all to the other, or, to a couple different
Right.
ones, because I
Right.
was practicing around. But in any event, I'm sorry if those of you that are new and now went off in like more technical talk that you may or may not. That's one of the complaints. Ryan says, sometimes he's like, you give me an answer that I understand, and then you start to go off here, and I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No,
I'm
you
like, oh,
gotta
sorry
keep it
about that.
keep it stupid simple.
We got about 7 minutes left. I
Okay.
think,
Could you run down just real quick
yeah,
all your highlighted tips? Just go through it real quick
yeah.
for the rest of audience out there. Go
From
for it.
from the beginning,
Yeah,
or
just didn't name out the
okay.
tip.
All
Go.
right. So remember that crypto can be sort of like the wild, wild west. There's a lot of scams and hackers and FOMOs and fear, uncertainty and doubt and all of that. But also know that there's a whole bunch of us out here that would love to help you. There's people like Simon that can do one-on-ones with you to help you get more comfortable into this space. But know that you're not going to walk in here and it's just going to be easy peasy. You're going to need to do your own research, and you're going to do some legwork to figure
Right.
out how to do it, but it's going to be great on the end. There's no FDIC insurance at this point on any of this stuff. So don't spend any more money than you can afford to lose. And again, do your own research on anything that you do purchase. Don't brag about your bags. don't tell people, a bunch of people, how much crypto you got, or anything. You keep that close to the vest. I said, don't spend more money than you can afford to lose. Be careful of the websites that you go to, and make
Right.
sure, good practice, security practice, type in the URL directly into the website when you're searching out, say, an exchange. That you
Yep.
want to use, and make sure that there's the HTTPS security thing up in the search bar to ensure that you're in a secure website before you put any information in. And then bookmark those sites once you know, so that you know that it's a valid site that you're going to. I recommended when you're getting ready to set up a wallet, you want to have a good pen and paper down. You can use like a waterproof book. You could buy stone paper. You just have paper. Just get a book and make sure you're prepared to write down your seed phrases. Make sure you write them down legibly. Have a buddy, your spouse or something, read them back to you and make sure that they can. And actually, I had Ryan write them down too. So it was in his handwriting and my handwriting, just for a double
Right.
sure.
Right.
And do not save. Oh, do not take any pictures of your seed phrase, which is that series of words that populate when you create a wallet. That actually is your what is it?
Private keys.
Is your private
It's
keys?
private.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much your
not-
private keys.
Do not take photos of those, and do not save them on your computer. Pen and paper, or if you get a hard device, like we were talking about, the crypto metal,
Yep.
to where it can't burn and get water or whatever. Make multiple copies of your seed phrase. If you're keeping it at home, you want to put them in Ziploc bags, maybe just something, or some kind of waterproof bag.
Protect it and secure it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
think about that. Put it in and have a fireproof safe of some sort or whatever. Some people also recommended the UV light and black light, or UV pen and black light, if you want to have
Sure.
invisible words.
But that might not be a good suggestion if you're a person that isn't highly organized. You're like, oh, blank piece of paper.
Create super long passwords with capital letters, numbers, symbols, and like Simon said, try to go all the way to the end, as it use as many letters and characters as you can to avoid any kind of attacks, or make it harder for anybody to guess your password. Use a different password for every account that you set up. That's just good advice for anything, so that if they get a hold of one password for one account, they don't get a one for all of them. Make sure, I didn't get to this one. Make
You
sure your
got 4
device,
minutes.
make sure your device is free of any viruses or keyloggers by running a malware bytes, or some kind of virus software on your devices before you start doing anything with downloading or buying crypto or whatever on your thing. My thing, make sure your phone is secure. And if well, I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole nother conversation.
Cool. Let's say it for 2 weeks from this Wednesday, right? We're coming back, doing it again.
Yeah, this is we're shooting for bi-weekly Wednesdays, 7:30 to 9:30. Dip a toe. Let's talk crypto. And we really appreciate everybody that's come and listened and participates. It'd be great if you'd come back and join us again. You can catch this show on Vita Broadcast Network on our YouTube channel. We're streaming live there also. And I think Simon might, I don't know if you're going to put it up on your website or your,
I am. Yep. I'll be taking some clips, some good little nuggets out there. Try to touch on all the little topics that you just talked about. I'm sure you will too. But yeah, I'll be putting that out there. I have yet to figure out how I can also stream it on my YouTube channel so we can get, as much exposure as we can. But that's, give us a month. It might take a little bit.
Yeah. We're getting there.
So.
This is only our third time of trying to do this. So well, we had our practice.
Oh yeah, that was not official.
This
That
is
was
this
like,
is the
this is
the
official number 2. This is official number 2.
You guys are on the ground floor of the Dipito show.
Yeah,
We
welcome.
appreciate you, Mr. Moon and Farmer John, for stopping by, and Rusty, and what was it, Mr. Rico stopped by.
$X Smash Savage, LOL.
Yeah.
Over on the live stream there, real quick. So I just watched.
Awesome.
Oh, I just switched over. Yeah, Mr. Moon, what's good? Yeah, brother.
Mr. Moon. All right, guys. We thank you, and we will see you again next time. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks, Simon. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you too. See you a couple weeks.
All right. Bye, guys. And that. And we will see you again next time. I hope